Hello, people. I'm driving. Going to take a hike this morning. It's kind of cold. My truck's reading 37 degrees. It's going to be a cool hike. It's alright though. I'll move fast. I want to talk to you about awareness and how there's so many different levels of awareness. You know, chosen ones, I just started meeting some of you for real when I went out to Sedona, and I want y'all, not all of y'all, but I want y'all to know that I do see y'all's light. I see you, and I see your potentials, but I'm also seeing the things that aren't awake still in people. And so I realize that we're definitely all on like a whole lot of different levels. There's a lot of levels of awareness. And we don't all see things the same way because of our life experiences, but you know, we got to realize that yeah, those experiences did happen, and sometimes they did teach us lessons. We were learning lessons in the third dimension, but we were also being programmed. So basically, you have to let go of all of that third dimension. You have to let go of all that programming, and this is freaking hard to do for me. It is, because you learned a lot of things about people in a short amount of time. And yeah, not everybody's the same. We're not all doing the same things. So since we're not all doing the same things and have done the same things, we're seeing things differently in the world. We're not all seeing things the same way. And so sometimes people can be doing things like that are narcissistic and not really realize that that's what they're doing, and maybe not even have that intention, but this is what they're doing. And you know, I realize that this world, you know, is everybody's trying to use you for your light, use you for your energy, for your time, for your money, for your attention. But you know, you have to realize that in relationships with other people, it doesn't even matter what kind of relationship that I'm talking about. It could be any relationship: mom, dad, mother, son, girl, guy, girl, any relationship in this life. Relationships are supposed to go both ways. This is the new adulting that we're all supposed to be doing, right? Which is basically shadow work, adulting. It's funny how people come up with these new terms. Anyway, yeah, you have to realize that in all the relationships of your life, that the relationship should go both ways. It's give and take. It's not one way. If it's one way, what are you doing? Are you like hoeing people out? Or are you tricking them out? Pulling a trick on them? Give me your money, I'm going to give you nothing for it. No, it needs to be both ways, and we have to start seeing the relationships this way. And the people that aren't seeing it this way, no judgment. If I show you a wrong, it's no judgment. I'm not judging you, but I am trying to show you what I'm seeing. Now, you might teach me that I'm seeing it a little wrong, I don't know, but probably not. I'm realizing that things are what they are. People show you by actions, not words, motherfuckers. I remember a Rat song, action, not words, or maybe it was Poison, I don't know. One of those silly ass rock bands of my youth. I still listen to some of that music every now and then. I don't listen to very much anymore though. I try to pay attention to what I'm putting into my ears, into my eyes. It's difficult though, it's a challenge for sure to change yourself. Anyway, we have to look at what we're doing. We are that looks into our minds. This is who you really are. You wonder who you are? You're that looks inside your mind to see what you're thinking about. As your mind's fucking fumbling around and stumbling and running like crazy, a million different directions. That's me. Well, you're that looks into what you're thinking on. So, you're a spiritual being. You're not this body. You're not this mind. You've been programmed. You don't have to feel shame or guilt for what you've been doing or for what you've done in the past. You know, if you want to, you can go around and ask everybody forgiveness when you're asleep that you didn't know what you were doing for things that you recall if you'd like, but basically just let it go. You know, if people haven't been in your life lately, they don't know who you are. You've changed. You're renewing your mind. You're going through a rebirth. You're being born again. You are awakening to the third dimension in all its facets. So the more you understand and learn, the more you see that people are doing to you. That's why people don't like to be around the chosen very long. They don't like to be shown their faults. But fuck it. Are we here to awaken or not? I'm not walking on eggshells no more around people, and I don't expect them to walk on eggshells around me. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know so that I can correct myself if that needs to happen. Or at least let me explain myself. But at the same time, you know, I try to give people hints and stuff, but a lot of people don't get this, and they don't want to listen to this. Even though I know they're fucking awake and a warrior, they're fighting. They're just not awake to all these things yet. And I'm seeing it in all kinds of different ways, and people in religion and all these sorts. You know, everybody's being woke up, you know. It don't matter what you've been doing, what you've done, where you're at in your life, because you're still, these energies are coming to us and we're still waking up. Everybody is. Everybody that can. Maybe not everybody. Sorry to say. But still, we can wake up. Those of you that are waking up and learning, keep learning. Don't give up. Don't go into like shame and guilt and all those areas, because you got to realize you've been programmed. Just let that go and feel sorry for it and ask, you know, for forgiveness for what you've been doing to God. Try to get straight with God and try to start again. Always start again. It's a struggle. The spiritual battle is a struggle, but you know, I think a lot of us need to go through a boot camp. We need to get together and start a religious boot camp so we can learn and start training ourselves and hypnotize ourselves. Self-hypnosis. Learn to meditate, learn to meld the right and the left side of our brain and to start understanding and getting rid of the poisons that are in our body and exercising and eliminating the harsh things that we put into our bodies and start eating right, and changing our diets and fasting and learning from each other, learning how to live, because we're all being born again. But just because we're being born again doesn't mean you should let everybody around you treat you however they want to. Sometimes you have to let people know what you think that they're doing, and how they can try to explain themselves if they want to, but you gotta realize if you're dealing with people that are chosen, they're probably right about you. Whether you want to look at that part of you yet or not, you will. You will. The world has a way of showing it to us over and over until we learn it. And you know, these divisions are everywhere. Maybe that's why we're all supposed to be alone, because we're all supposed to be learning. And, you know, this is how we're learning. We're learning these things. So, maybe it's alright to teach somebody, even if it's a slap in the face for them. But it's alright if we get slapped in the face too, because we're learning still. We don't know everything. We see most things, but that don't mean we understand what we're seeing yet. If you're becoming more and more aware, though, you're starting to see things. And yeah, when you got to go inside yourself and look, just do it. Don't feel shame or guilt about it. Just do it and move into it. And accept that this is the world and how it's been, and that this world's dying. And we have to regroup and learn, because we don't know nothing, because they didn't teach us nothing. They taught us what the lie was. They didn't teach us what the real was. So we have to start learning the real, and there is real things out there. There's nature. Nature can teach us. Nature's our example, because it's the only thing we have around us that's real. So if you've learned things from nature, you do know something. Nature teaches us. Nature's good. I love being in nature. It helps me. Nature helps me. For real. But relationships, they're hard. All relationships in your life, because people around you are being used as portals. You might be too if you're not careful. If you're not watching what's fucking going on in your head and what you're doing and what's coming out your mouth, you might be being used as an open portal too, even though you're chosen. So we got to pay attention to what we're doing. Something crazy happened to me night before last in my sleep when I woke up. You know, in the morning time, that veil in between dimensions is, we're closer to that dimension, I guess is how I should put it. The veil is thinner, so you can see through it. I woke up and I was fucking being choked by a demon. You motherfuckers. These demons are in the fourth dimension. And this veil is thin. Between 3 and 5 in the morning, it's its thinnest. And I could see what was happening and going on. I was being choked by a fucking demon in my sleep, and I woke up and I could see that demon for a second. Not for very long. My eyes were awake and I saw that demon for a second that was choking me, and I was still being choked whenever I woke up. Motherfucking demons are jumping fucking people right and left. It ain't happened to everybody. They ain't seeing these things, but if you're chosen, it's because they're trying to make you fail. They're jumping into people all around you, and the only people you let around you most of the time is your family. They're jumping into these people around you and using them as a portal because of what they're doing. We allow ourselves or do things to allow us to be open portals for these archons, these demons in the fourth dimension. This is a spiritual battle. We're going through a spiritual battle. For real, though. And for some of us, it's getting real fucking real because we're seeing shit. We're seeing the unseen. I'm not scared, though, of you motherfuckers, no more demons. I know you fucking hear me, motherfuckers. I'm learning. And I'm teaching all those around me, you're about to be gone off our planet. You're no longer going to rule over this planet. We're taking it back. I came here to take this planet back from you motherfuckers. That's my purpose. And I'm going to do it by waking everybody the fuck up so that we can fucking gang together and start creating the new earth. You can't live around this higher energy in this higher dimension. You can't live here. You can't accept the love. Love defeats you every time. I love myself. Everybody taught me to not love myself. I love myself. I love who Chris Mason is now. And I don't want to be controlled and manipulated by women anymore, by men. I don't want my energy to be used anymore for you for a second and then to fuel the underworld, these fourth dimension. No, my energy's mine and I call it back to me. Nobody uses my energy but what I give. And I'm learning that holy hell, we gotta fucking only give our energy in any way to those that deserve it and have earned it. It's our energy. Why we keep giving it to people before they earn it? That goes for anybody. It don't matter who anybody says they are. Holy hell, if you're chosen, they're going and, think about fucking trying to get together with other chosen ones that are supposedly chosen, calling them together. That's like a call to the fucking that's call to the fucking grizzly bear that it's dinner time if you're getting the chosen ones. So we're all trying to join together, and really we've called together the fucking wolf pack to come after us. But it's not all this way, like I said, because a lot of people may be semi-starting to wake up, but still fucking living in that motherfucking veil. Still looping some in an even straight up narcissism, looping in their narcissism. And, this is a really hard thing, I think, for people to get out of. I don't know, I'm not a narcissist, but I've definitely done narcissistic things, and I think that we were doing those things to try to survive in that narcissistic world that it's become in the third dimension. Wow, has it gotten bad. But it doesn't mean there's not good in the world. And I don't accept any doomsday things that are coming. I know this world's changing. I know that there's going to be an event, but I'm not living in fear about any of it. And a lot of people are like being prophetic, but kind of spreading fear with their prophetics. We have to remember that we are the creators. So yeah, we're going to flow with life, and whatever comes. And, we're not creating necessarily this new earth as a collective yet, at least not as a strong enough collective. And I don't subscribe to any anything like this, any prophecy like this anymore, because I realize that I am a creator on this earth, and so are you. You might not be awake to it yet, but Archangel Metatron, he freaking channeled through somebody, Sam the illusionist, that everybody here is a pure soul. Everybody here is a spiritual being. A lot of people are talking, I had doubts about this. A lot of people are talking about people being soulless and everything. I questioned this for a while, quite a while, maybe a couple of years now. And no, I don't think that people are soulless beings. I do think that some people have made bad decisions, because we do have freedom, and we do have choices to make these decisions that affect our life. So we've made bad decisions that have allowed demons to control us. And these demons are the Archons. And the Archons have been controlling our planet, not just a little though, like, holy hell, you know? They're trapping us and keeping us in this this reincarnation cycle. We keep reincarnating to this earth. And we're caught in this karmic cycle, and whenever we leave here, I've watched channels that, I don't remember who it was, I don't think this was Metatron, but was saying that it's basically saying when we leave here that demons, Archons in the fourth dimension, are catching us and convincing us to go back and loop back into this cycle, when we have the choice to move on. This is how much they're negatively influencing us. Do you hear me, people? So they've got us in this trap, and they're farming us for our energy. And if you're chosen, you're the prime. This is why you see freaking people around you looking at you all crazy and licking their lips at you, even unaware, not realizing that you're seeing what they're doing. Because everybody's so unaware in this system, and we had been so unaware until we started waking up. So we were so unaware that, people just start doing things, maybe even uncontrollably. And I don't think that a lot of these people that are just living with these demons inside them all the time, I think a lot of people are just being in a portal and being jumped into at the time. But I don't know about these things quite yet. Still studying them. But anyway, I do know that this is a spiritual battle, and these demons are jumping into these people right in front of you. There was a girl out in Sedona that looked at me the first night the second night when we went out to dinner, and her eyes were like bulging out and kind of rolling around, and I'm like thinking, damn, this girl's weird. She's looking at me real weird. Well, it's because she could see my light, and she is lusting after it. And that was her eyes bulging. She showed herself to be a Decepticon later in the trip. But actions, chosen ones, actions, not words. And it takes a minute to see who people are. You have to look at them, but you can't listen to them. You got to see it. It's got to be action. So it takes a while for people to really show you who they are a lot of times. You can't necessarily see their actions. You can only hear their words. So, it's strange that we're all in these different places, looking at things differently, seeing things differently in people, seeing what they're doing. even not understanding what they're doing, but seeing what they're doing. Yeah. I'm at my trail. So, anyway, it's a strange life that we live. I don't have understanding about it and everything. I'm learning. I'm sorry if I offend other people, but I'm not going to live a false life anymore. I'm not going to live a life. I want to live unapologetically for who I am. And I want to be able to speak my mind. I don't want to necessarily go around and hurt people's feelings. This is not what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, I want to be me and I want to live my life. And I want other people to do the same. I want them to be real too. So be real. Be real. Don't fear anything, just be real. You can have whatever you want in this world. Be real and show people real. Realize that the people around you are waking up. And actions, not words, so speak with your actions, people. But unapologetically be you. Be real. Love yourself. Put love into the world where you can. Let those that want to listen, listen. If you don't want to listen, turn off. It's all right. You might come back to me, though. You'll remember. I love everybody. I forgive all those people around me that have hurt me. I'm learning to accept everyone for who they are, but maybe not always continue in relationships. It's all right to let them go. Even those people that you know are chosen because of the way they're vibrating. They're not awake in the same way that you are. They've got to learn like everybody else, so be at peace with them. But sometimes let them go. Sometimes you can be subtle with some people and they get it. Other people, it's like, no, they ain't getting nothing, but here it is. Take it however you want it. But look at yourself. Same for me, Chris. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. As the Bible says, pull the log out of your own eye before you try to pull the splinter out of your brothers and sisters' eye. I'm sorry if I've offended any of you, but it's all right. Be real. I'm not ashamed or feel guilty for who I am. I don't feel guilty for waking up. I don't feel guilty for seeing you for who you are and what you're doing. I do not feel guilty about none of it. I won't be shamed by anybody. I do have things that I do still that I'm trying to correct. I'm not perfect. I don't expect anyone else to be perfect around me, but holy hell, we can at least show each other respect. So, show respect until you're disrespected. Then it's all right, just cut it loose. We gotta love ourselves. You can't let other people walk on you. If you're one of those people like me and you've let other people walk on you some just because you didn't want a confrontation, you're going to have to learn to start having confrontation with people. It's alright to butt heads sometimes. It's alright to live in peace, though. The more peace you have in yourself, the less you'll react to these narcissists around you. The more you'll breathe and relax and speak logically to them. Just respond, don't react. Respond with logic. Most of the time they can't even come back with a response when you give them peace and logic. So we don't have to keep feeding these archons that are jumping into all these people around us. We're going to have to go through a planetary cleanse of all these fucking heavy metals and fucking parasites that they keep pumping into us. Listen to me, people. They're polluting your body. You don't have to accept this. You don't need to accept that. You need to stand up and be a warrior and fight for this. Fight for our freedoms. Fight for our right to live as a free spiritual being here on this earth. Fight for the right to change this world into what we want. All we have to do is join forces and create from our hearts, from our God space. Create from this light that's coming down to us from the sun. Create from source. Create the new earth. You don't have to know a fucking thing. God will work right through you. I love you all. Peace and love. I wish you happiness. Have a good day.